No warning. No gradual decline. No series of concerning outings that gave the front office time to prepare. Just a medical evaluation, a diagnosis, and a brutal, unavoidable reality: one of the most dominant starting pitchers in all of baseball would not take another mound start this season. For any other organization, this would be a crisis with no clean answer. For the Los Angeles Dodgers, it was a problem to be solved. Immediately. Decisively. Without panic. Within hours, the front office was on the phone with Pittsburgh. Within days, a trade was completed. A right-handed arm from the Pirates was on his way to Los Angeles in a 2-for-1 deal that sent shockwaves through the trade market. 2 more pitchers were optioned to the minors. The pitching staff was completely reorganized from top to bottom, all of it engineered around one specific, immovable deadline. A 3-game series against the Atlanta Braves. Starting now. And in the middle of all this chaos, Roki Sasaki, the young Japanese ace who did not make the rotation, broke his silence. His words were calm. They were measured. And they were more revealing than anything the Dodgers front office has said publicly all season. We're giving up on Shohei's two-way play. Let that sit for a moment. Because those 7 words just changed everything we thought we knew about how the 2025 Dodgers are going to operate going forward. Before we talk about what comes next, we need to fully understand what the Dodgers just lost. Tyler Glasnow, when healthy, is not simply a good pitcher. He is a front-of-the-rotation, ace-level, genuine difference-maker, the kind of arm that changes a team's entire ceiling. His fastball sits comfortably in the upper 90s. His curveball is one of the most devastating breaking balls in the National League. When he is locked in, at full strength, pitching deep into games and dominating lineups with his combination of pure velocity and elite secondary pitches, he is as good as anyone in baseball. That is the player the Dodgers built their rotation around. That is the player who is now done for the year. The injury history surrounding Glasnow has always been the asterisk on his brilliance. The talent has never been in question. The durability has. And now, once again, his body has forced the issue at the worst possible time, heading into a critical stretch of the season with the Braves series on the horizon and the rotation needing to be at full strength. What the Dodgers lose with Glasnow is not just innings. It is certainty. It is the confidence of knowing that every 5th day, a true ace is going to take the ball and give you a chance to win regardless of who is on the other side. That kind of reliability is irreplaceable. You cannot simply plug another arm into the rotation and expect the same result. But the Dodgers didn't try to replace Glasnow with Glasnow. They're smarter than that. They went out and got what they needed, and the Pittsburgh Pirates had exactly what Los Angeles was looking for. A 2-for-1 trade with Pittsburgh is not a minor transaction. This is the Dodgers front office making a statement: we are willing to move real assets to solve this problem right now, because right now is what matters. The right-handed pitcher coming from the Pirates brings something specific to this rotation that the Dodgers needed urgently: durability and ground ball tendencies. In a rotation that has suddenly been stripped of its ace, you don't need a pitcher who is going to dazzle anyone. You need a pitcher who is going to eat innings, keep the ball in the park, and give your bullpen enough rest to survive a 3-game series against one of the better offenses in the National League. That is exactly what this acquisition provides. The 2 players heading to Pittsburgh represent the Dodgers' willingness to make a genuine sacrifice to get this deal done. This wasn't a salary dump situation from the Pirates' perspective. This was a team that had real leverage and used it, and Los Angeles paid the price because they had no choice. When Glasnow goes down the week of a Braves series, you don't negotiate. You acquire. What makes this trade particularly interesting is what it signals about the Dodgers' confidence in the rest of their system. Giving up 2 players in a single trade, even for a 1-year solve, requires organizational depth. You have to believe that the players you're sending away can be absorbed by Pittsburgh without leaving holes in your own pipeline that will hurt you later. The Dodgers made that calculation. They decided winning right now, in this series, in this moment of the season, was worth the cost. That tells you everything about how seriously they're taking the Braves. Alongside the trade, the Dodgers made 2 additional moves that got less attention but are just as revealing. 2 pitchers were optioned to the minor leagues as part of the emergency rotation restructuring. In isolation, these look like roster housekeeping. In context, they are a complete statement about the Dodgers' pitching philosophy heading into this stretch. Optioning 2 arms simultaneously tells you that the front office wasn't satisfied with what those pitchers were giving them at the major league level. It tells you that they looked at a 3-game series against Atlanta and decided they needed different weapons, not just the Pirates' arm, but a total reconfiguration of who is available and in what role. This kind of aggressive, in-season roster management is what separates elite organizations from average ones. Most teams would absorb the Glasnow injury, make one move, shuffle the deck slightly, and hope for the best. The Dodgers absorbed the injury, made a trade, sent 2 players down, and rebuilt the pitching staff from scratch in the span of a few days. The pitchers heading to AAA are not being punished. They are being positioned. The Dodgers minor league system is not a place players go to disappear, it is a place they go to get ready. Both of these arms will be back when the situation calls for them. Right now, the situation calls for something different. And the man standing at the center of all these decisions, the player whose future role with this team is now being openly discussed, is Roki Sasaki. When a player who did not make the rotation sits down and says, "We're giving up on Shohei's two-way play," that is not a throwaway comment. That is a window into conversations happening inside the Dodgers clubhouse that the public rarely gets access to. Let's break down what Sasaki actually said, and what he meant. The statement acknowledges something the Dodgers organization has been carefully avoiding saying directly all season. There is a real, ongoing internal conversation about whether Shohei Ohtani should continue to pursue two-way play in Los Angeles. The pitching staff rebuild happening right now, the Glasnow loss, the Pirates acquisition, the rotational restructuring, all of it creates pressure on that question. When you lose your ace, when you're scrambling to piece together a rotation for a critical series, the calculus around Ohtani the pitcher becomes very different from what it was in the offseason. Every start he makes as a pitcher is a start where he is not available as the most dangerous hitter in your lineup. Every inning he throws is physical stress on an arm that is also expected to carry the offensive load of an entire team. Sasaki's comment, delivered calmly, without apparent frustration, but with the quiet weight of someone who has been watching these decisions from the inside, suggests that the Dodgers may be moving toward a fork in the road. Not publicly. Not officially. Not yet. But internally, the conversation is happening. Is Shohei Ohtani more valuable to the 2025 Dodgers as the greatest hitter in baseball, available every single day, fully focused on his at-bats, his preparation, and his offensive dominance, or as a two-way player who splits his physical and mental energy between pitching and hitting? That question has no easy answer. But the fact that Sasaki is willing to acknowledge it publicly tells you something important. The answer may already be emerging inside that clubhouse. Set aside the long-term philosophical debate for a moment. The immediate question is simpler and more urgent. How does all of this affect the way Ohtani is used in the Braves series starting right now? The answer, based on everything happening around him, is that Ohtani goes into this series as the Dodgers' primary offensive weapon, full stop. With the rotation in emergency mode, with a new arm just arrived from Pittsburgh needing to find his footing in a new organization, with two pitchers just sent to the minors, the last thing the Dodgers can afford is any ambiguity around their best player. Ohtani bats. Ohtani prepares to hit. Ohtani focuses every ounce of his competitive energy on doing damage at the plate against a Braves pitching staff that is going to be just as focused on limiting him. That is the role. That is the priority. And frankly, against a team as dangerous as Atlanta, in a 3-game series that could define the Dodgers' standing heading into the summer, it is the right call. The Braves know Ohtani is coming. They will game plan for him extensively. They will shift their bullpen usage around him. They will make decisions specifically designed to keep the ball out of his wheelhouse. And Ohtani will have already anticipated all of it. Everything that has happened in the last week, Glasnow's injury, the Pirates trade, the minor league options, Sasaki's statement, the rotational overhaul, all of it converges on 3 games against Atlanta. This is the moment where organizations reveal who they truly are. Not in the off-season, when signings are celebrated and possibilities are unlimited. Not in spring training, when everything is theoretical. But right here, in the middle of the season, when injuries happen and trades have to be made and rotations have to be rebuilt on short notice and the opponent waiting for you is one of the best teams in the National League. The Dodgers have responded to adversity the way great organizations do. Quickly. Decisively. Without panic. With a clear understanding of what they need and the willingness to pay the cost to get it. Now it is time to see whether those decisions hold up where it matters most, on the field, in Dodger Stadium, against a Braves team that is fully healthy, fully prepared, and fully aware that Los Angeles just lost its ace. Atlanta thinks this is their moment. They think the Glasnow injury cracked the Dodgers open. They're about to find out whether they're right. Here is the thing about great organizations under pressure, the circumstances change, but the standard doesn't. Glasnow is gone. The rotation has been rebuilt. Sasaki is watching from outside the decision. 2 pitchers are in the minors getting ready for whenever their moment comes again. A right-hander from Pittsburgh is learning his new teammates' names. And Shohei Ohtani is already in the film room. Already studying the Braves' pitchers. Already working through counts and sequences and the specific situations that will define the outcome of this series. Already living inside the games that haven't been played yet. That is the Dodgers standard. Not the roster, not the rotation, not the names on the back of the jerseys, but the preparation, the commitment, and the refusal to treat any obstacle as an excuse. Glasnow's season is over. The Dodgers' season is just getting started. And the Braves have no idea what is about to hit them.